Today I wanted to do a quick update on how I've been planning in my standard size Hobonichi Weeks for 2023. I moved into this planner in December of 2022 and I've been in it for 3 weeks now, and instead of waiting until the end of January to do an update, I thought I would just sort of show you how things are going. I have the Bunnies cover in the English edition for 2023. This is a standard size, so it has 75 notes pages in the back, and I have been housing this planner in the handwrite Hobonichi Knot, N-O-T-T-E cover. I got both of these off of Amazon Japan this year. Not sure what's still available, but I think they just restocked this cover on Jetpens, so if you've been looking for it, maybe check there. I'm not sure by the time this goes up if it will still be in stock. I have nothing in the zipper pocket. I do use this as my wallet. I've been traveling a lot in the month of December and this has been really helpful. In fact, this cover zipped up fits perfectly in the side pocket of my backpack, which has made this really functional for traveling. It's secure enough where it's not going to fall out, or I can tell if someone's trying to mess with it, but easy enough for me to pull it out and then flip to the back, get my IDs when going through security lines, and that is a huge pro for me because I don't like holding up lines. In this cover, I just have sticky notes and like our Vax cards in here, or these are stickers from Midori. I got them from, I think, Jetpens, or I've gotten some from Jetpens. I got some on my trip to Japantown in San Francisco area earlier this year. I've got some stickers in here. These are from the Coffee Monsters Co., just some holiday ones that I need to use. I always forget about them because they're not in my sticker book, so I thought I'd pop those in there. I'm not going to show you the back because I haven't covered everything, but all I have is like my most used cards, and then I do keep my pencil board back here. You can kind of see the edge of them there, but credit cards, health insurance, that kind of thing. Okay, so in the front, I've been using this as my inbox. I've got a variety of sticky notes. This is Midori, this is Midori, this is Amazon Japan, Post-it, Daiso. This clip, I think, came with one of my inserts from Good Impressions, but this is sort of my inbox section, messy notes, short-term lists I'm currently putting in here, so I'm starting to kind of think of my packing list for going home for Christmas. I will pretty much use up a sticky note in entirety, so even though this one looks used up, I'll put some scratch scribbles here, and then once it's completely full, I will toss them, or I'll stick them in the back if I think I need them, or copy any information over if it's going to be helpful. Did put a sticker on here. This was one of my designs from Patreon that I turned into a sticker. More sticky notes here. These were from Daiso. This is from Midori. Got them from Jetpens. As you can tell, I like my sticky notes. I did decorate this. If you saw my 2023 Hobonichi Weeks setup video, I mentioned that I kind of wanted to do some deco here. This is my first time doing that. Both of these were from a sticker sheet. I cannot pronounce the shop name. Satelier. I got them from Yoseka. I'll try and put it down below. And then this is one of my designs. All right, I have yet to really use this year at a glance. I did mark my paydays, just underlining them in pencil, so I know how we're budgeting for the month. I think I'm gonna track travel on here. I said I wasn't gonna do that, but I can tell very quickly for work I'm gonna need to highlight when I'm traveling, so I can make sure we're sticking to my contract. Over here, I have a habit tracker. This was from Peanuts Planner Co. This is the 104 Undated Yearly Bundle, printed on Tomoe River paper at 88%, and I used a glue stick to tip it in. And this is where I track my cycle, and I realized that the 27th of November would be the first week of a new Hobonichi Week, so I just started tracking as soon as I moved in. I've got symbols for when I'm on my cycle versus when I'm ovulating, so I can paint myself a picture, I guess. Similar over here, since I realized I could move in on the 27th, I just drew a line in and I started tracking my workouts on here. I like to do, what the main workout is of the day. If I close my rings on my Apple Watch, I'm highlighting it blue. This is with a Mildliner. I think it's smoky blue. I'll put it down below. And it's hard to see on camera, but I've also highlighted the day of the week to indicate if I worked out in the morning, because that's one of my goals for this year. Up top, I keep track of my average weight, and if you saw my setup video, I did fix this. I wrote it in pencil, thank goodness. I had written 2021 originally, and I think that confused a lot of people. 2022. So from here and here, this is this year's data, and then I'll bump over to March once the new year hits. These are from Daiso as well, by the way. This is what my December monthly calendar is looking like, and I'm obsessed. I love this monthly. I feel like I have so much space to write everything down, and it feels really clean. All of the stickers are my designs from my Patreon that I made into stickers. These little ones, these two are from Randy.Plans. This one is from that same Midori sticker sheet that I showed you in my front pocket. The habit tracker date stickers, these are from Randy.Plans, and yeah, so I've got goal tasks, running to-do list, habit tracker down the bottom, and then otherwise I'm pretty much just putting in events. So this is where I put things in as soon as I schedule them. So if I got a dentist appointment, I write that in right away. What birthdays I know about, all of that is all written in here. And then at the end of each day, if there's something I'm trying to collect to make easier to reference, I'm writing those things on here as well. So like, for example, this day we opened Christmas gifts between my husband and I thought that would be something I'd want to see. Oh, hey, did we do that early this year? So that's the kind of thing that I write in retrospectively. We didn't plan to do Christmas gifts that night. It just sort of happened. Pre-planning or planning in here. Someone recently brought it to my attention that pre-planning is just planning. Now I can't unhear it. But yeah, everything just gets written in as it's scheduled, and then I cross through it if it gets canceled, and if I'm really unsure about it, I put it on a sticky note. So that's kind of how that has been working. Weeklies. I am quite happy with how these are looking. I am doing 2 columns. So I intermix task and appointments now. I use this column for highlights of the day, a habit tracker, and then a running list for the week. I am trying not to use a ton of color, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not using Tombos as much to mark things out. I'm sure that will change throughout the year, but I'm liking this like kind of monochrome type of vibe. All my events I've written in with a brush pen. This is the Pilot Fudenosuke in the hard tip. I'll have that down below because I might have butchered that pronunciation. And then otherwise the rest of the text is with my Pilot Vanishing Point. This is a fountain pen, an extra fine, inked with the Atramentis Archive ink. It is my ride or die. It is all I use in this planner for the most part. So all of that in here, I will break all these in at the beginning of the month. So you'll see here in a bit that I've kind of pre-filled in all of December from my monthly calendar, and then I do everything real time from there. Hopefully that makes sense. This sticker I made, these are from the Coffee Monsters Co. I've been experimenting with watercolor in here. I recently got some Winsor Newton watercolors, so that's been kind of cool. The little mini icons are from Randy. I was in Dallas this week, so this was just from my luggage tag. Picked up some one-piece Hobonichi stuff I like, so I tipped that in. I was a little bit nervous because that takes up a lot of room, but it ended up working out perfectly. This week I was also in Dallas, so I just put it down here so it wouldn't get too ridged up. This is from Paper and Milk, Randy.Plans, that same Midori sticker sheet, watercolored, some things in here as well. One thing I'm doing a little bit differently and might change my mind is I took a pencil to mark travel. I was out of town Monday through Friday this week, and instead of highlighting the whole sidebar color, I just thought that that looked pretty clean and I could still pretty quickly discern, hey, I was out of town. Got some free space here. I think I'm gonna journal is my plan, or I got my new desk this week. I might watercolor in my desk. I haven't decided, so we'll see how it goes. But in general, I'm liking how these are looking. They feel really clean, and I'm feeling really productive in my weeks. I think that's the main update, the main takeaway. There is a bit of a pro and a con. So what I'm finding is that yes, everything I need to accomplish within a week fits in a Hobonichi Weeks weekly spread. So I don't technically need a daily to get everything done. I am getting more done because I'm staring at my tasks all week. So what I find pretty heavily is like Monday and Tuesday, I'm hammering out as many of these things as possible because I'm like, I don't want to do those this weekend. So I'm collectively getting more done. If a task takes less than 10 minutes, I'm knocking it out really early in the week. And I'm migrating less from week to week or leaving less things opened than maybe I have in the past. So that is really great. I feel really productive in this. It feels really streamlined. I feel really efficient and chic and all those kind of buzzwords that I like when it comes to planning. But one of the downsides is that I feel restricted when it comes to memory keeping. And I'm hoping when the new year hits and I move into my Midori Hibino, then maybe that will be fine. But that's sort of like a pro for my passport size bullet journal, is I just feel like I've got the creative space to doodle something every day, to write in all those memories. And I definitely could try and do that in here. It's just much smaller. Like this doodle is really tiny compared to what I had in my passport. And I just wrote like a one-liner where I journaled a little bit about the gift, and then I got a new flat iron for Christmas, things like that. So it's a balance of like, am I craving that really productive feel, or am I craving that one place to memory keep and really archive and document my life? It's just two different sides to my planning coin, and I foresee I'm just going to bounce between the two systems all year. So at the end of the day, it's going to be fine. These washi tapes I got from Yosteca. This is an MT brand washi tape, and this one is a Mr. Eggplants washi tape. I think this is called like March, if I remember right. I do not remember the name of this one. Icons are from Randy, same pen stuff as before. And then this I filled in with a Uniball Signo Broad Metallic gel pen. I think that's the name. I'll put it down below if you are curious. I went with silver tabs this year. My tabs are the Midori index clips. I get mine from Jetpens. I think you can find them elsewhere. I went for silver because it matches the foiled date at the front here. And I use blotting paper. This is the same crusty piece of blotting paper I've used since 2021. This is the brand Herban, and I get them from Jetpens, and I just trimmed it down with my guillotine cutter. All right, so let's talk about the notes pages, because now that I'm starting to fill things in, it's like exciting, right? So I have a sticky note on here because I've yet to decide if I want to create a spread for this, but I recently got a MacBook Air, and this is how I am surviving, like remembering the new tricks, because I was raised a Windows user. And then I have my index here. I have indexed a few things already. I'm kind of envisioning doing like a 2-column situation because I can write the tasks down pretty quickly. These were designs that I made myself. Vision board, I found photos, I upload them to Canva, I print them, cut them, printed on cream Tomoe River paper that I got off Amazon. I have not seen Tomoe River paper and loose leaf available in a while. If you know where to get it, let us know down below, because I'm like hoarding this right now. But yeah, vision board for the year, written down my goals. These were written with Atramentis Document Blue Gray and my Kaweco's Brass Sport and Extra Fine. Quarterly goals, I'm gonna start once the new year hits, and basically I'm gonna split this into 4 horizontal sections and just write out my quarterly goals, because I find if I write it down, I'm better about things, and I want it up here where I would reference it when I look at this. My adulting log is going pretty well. Again, if you're curious what I track, here is your opportunity to screenshot. But this is, again, just things that I clean on a monthly basis, quarterly basis, or stuff that's not automated that I need to take action on. And I write down the date of the time that I do the thing. So we washed our mattress pad on the 9th, so I write that in. So I know that it happened on the 9th, and then January, I know, okay, I want to do it around the 9th of January-ish, but it doesn't have to be as long as it gets done in January. I do dots for things that aren't applicable, so like I don't need to get our air filters swapped out this month, so I just did a dot. Same thing with the smoke detector batteries. We did those in November, so I'm good for a while. Haven't written anything in here, but the intention is to write down, like, if we move money into an investment account, I like to write the amount, the date, and intended use, along with a checklist of documents I'll need to start 2022 tax season. Reading log, I read a couple things. I read one Kindle book, gave it 2 stars, finished a fan fiction, gave that 3.5 stars. If it's a number, it is a book. I don't designate whether it's a physical book or a Kindle book anymore. I prefer physical books if you're curious, but if it's a fan fiction, I will write down AO3 if it's Archive of Our Own, or FF if it's fanfiction.net, because I like to reread fan fictions, so I like to find them again. Date night log for my husband and I when we go on a date. I just write down the date, the day of the week, and what we did essentially. So we've gone on a couple of dates since I moved into this planner. Call log is where I record conversations with my best friend. It's just fun to look back on at the end of the year. So same format. What was the highlight of the conversation? What were we chatting about? Gift and wish list has surprisingly a lot of ideas on here. I did an Alistair. This column is ideas for me. Brandon, my side of the family, his side of the family, and I write down what the date is, or the idea is rather, and then when I purchase it, or I know someone else has purchased it, I go ahead and do this line and strike it off. I had a sticky note on here for some Secret Santa family gift exchange stuff that I organized. LindseyScribbles spread, which is basically money in, money out for LindseyScribbles, because I've got some purchases for upcoming things and Patreon and stuff like that. Debits, keeping track of money that I need to move around between our household finances. So this is how I do that. Shopping list is on a sticky note because I determined I don't need to keep that this year. Low buy, this is my stationary low buy spread. I am limiting myself to 1 page, so if I run out of room, I'm gonna have to call it, I think, at that point. But I am doing a stationary related low buy, and I think I'm gonna do like quarterly check-ins here on YouTube, but I'm gonna do more frequent on my Patreon. So if you're curious, recommend maybe supporting me there for more frequent updates. And then I have my package tracker. Doing pretty good not buying things so far this year, which is surprising, but this is a spending log / package tracker for my own personal fund money. So date, description, how much it was, what my balance is, and then I do an X for shipped and an X for received. And if there's a dot or a line through it, it basically means it's like a money thing and not no physical thing to track in the mail for it. From here, we move into the rest of my notes pages, and I am not gonna lie, I've been struggling to kind of figure out what deserves to go in the back pages. I'm quite nervous about filling them up, but I just kind of broke them in. And basically the thing that is helping me, which may not be helpful for others, but I wanted to verbalize it because it was sort of an aha moment for me the other week, is if I would have written it in my annual insert for my 2022 bullet journal, which is split across 2 inserts, it goes in here. Or if I would have indexed it to find again in my previous Hobonichi Weeks Mega, then I want to put it in here. So I got some watercolors recently, so I swatched them and wrote the numbers so that I can find them again in case I hit pan. There's a little bit of buckling, but I really like how the watercolors look on the page. We finished Rings of Power Season 1, so I just did a quick synopsis. This was printed using my Pulley printer. And then some notes on HSA allocations for next year. I just wrote those down. I recently started playing Pokemon Scarlet, so I created myself a log here so I can just write down what I was doing to help me pick back up because I play really sporadically. I left these little squares open because I kind of want to doodle some of the new Pokemon, but I'm not good at doodling things with faces, so we'll see. But anyway, that's kind of why I left those blank there. And then a tab for my recent blank page. So I'm on page 15. It's mid-December. I should not use more than 3 more pages is essentially my goal if I want to get the full year in here. So January's pages would start on the 18th. If I don't use these pages, then January will start on the 15th. I'm not strict on starting when I think I want to. It just helps me gauge, am I overusing or underusing pages if I want to get everything in one book for the year. I think what I might do is the week of Christmas, I might just do my daily, do dailies every day back in here as a form of memory keeping. That's kind of my thought. I know I need to do a Christmas spread, like a list for thank yous, what we got, what we gave, things like that. So I'll probably use a page for that, but we will see. Overall, I'm liking it. Surprisingly, I was really nervous that not having a daily was going to keep me from being productive, but I would say I'm very productive. I'm just not memory keeping probably as much as I would if I was doing a daily every single day. But I think my Midori Hibina is going to fill that role. Monthly favorites, I will do at the end of the month. I want to do a favorite per month, anything, so I'll fill that out soon. The My 100 I split into 4 columns, and I've added some things here. This is like recommended, so if someone says, hey, read this, watch this, look at this, I want to write that here and check it off when I do. Empties or 2D stash, so if I want to sell something, I'll write it. Once I sell it, I'll check it off. If I finish something, I'll just write it in, and I'll do some different signifier here. I'm thinking bourbon list for bourbons that my husband picks up this year, and then media quotes is if we watch a movie and we think something is hilarious, I want to write that down because I always write them down, but I don't collect them, and I think having them collected will be fun to kind of look through and see what we thought was funny this year. Yeah, so that is my planner. I would say I have been reaching for this more than my bullet journal, but once January hits and I move into fresh inserts, I'm sure the bullet journal will have a resurgence. I'm going to be really excited about that. I'm very happy with this cover. I do have a charm on it, by the way, before I wrap us up for the day. This is the Wabi Sabi charm from Baumkuchen. I can put their shop down below. I just put that on a chain and linked it for a little bit of something extra on my planner cover. But if you guys have any questions, let me know down below. If you've made it this long, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.